Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Secure Private Data's channel with encrypted Swiss-hosted email, VPN, and instant messaging. Joining us to give us a high-level overview of the company, a little bit of his history, and some milestone expectations, we have Alain, the Chief Executive Officer, joining us. Welcome, sir.
Thanks, Cal. Thanks, everyone, for watching.
Yeah, and a pleasure to get you on here. And I wouldn't mind just diving into this because for newer audiences, you're kind of a cybersecurity and internet privacy provider. Do you want to offer a brief elevator pitch to your host of products?
Yeah, so what we do, we are originally from Switzerland, like myself. We offer a secure private communication platform for consumer, SMBs, and enterprise. And we offer an email, a messenger, a VPN, and we're launching voice and video encryption in Q1. What's different than the others is that we have our own infrastructure in Switzerland only, so we obey only the Swiss data privacy laws. One of the things, for example, your IP address is your private property, so you can't divulge it. So there's a lot of intricate rules. We have our own infrastructure. Again, we don't use third-party cloud, Amazon, Google, or Microsoft, so that gives you more privacy. We don't data mine anything, and we have certain privacy thing. One of the big thing that we have is if you use a secure solution, whether it's the email or the messenger, you can communicate with someone that doesn't have secure, and they can communicate back with you without having to register to the product or download anything. We have actually a really good deck for the product. If you go to secureprivatedata.com, you can look at the corporate deck. It tells you all the products and solutions we have. Our website, secure.com, is where the solutions are sold. And presently, most of our market is the US.
Yeah, when we come back, I actually want to take a deeper dive into that investor deck, but I wouldn't mind rolling back a little bit here. What in your history led up to that aha moment for you kind of getting involved with Secure?
Well, I've been in tech since late 90s, actually. I built my first computer when I was 11. That was 45 years ago. And I just love tech always. So I started this company in Switzerland in 2007. We were in the payment business. And then the 2008 crash came. We sold our payment gateway to a huge international software company. And we were left with our infrastructure. And we started a product called Digital Safe in Switzerland, which is essentially a backup, file share, password manager rolled into one. Fast forward into 2012, we set up a US subsidiary, and in 2017, the Canadian entity with the aim of going public first in Canada, then in the US, to raise money for the international expansion. And that's how I got in. I'm the founder, and I'm the largest shareholder of the company, and this is kind of how this whole thing came up. And then we built relationships in Latin America with America Movil, which is the largest telecom in that continent. And it's been a great journey. 2020, 2021 were big years. 2021, we raised some money to really finish the product and expand. In 22, we started to sell to the US market. And this year, what we did that's different is we spent the entire year to reduce our customer acquisition cost from $400 or $500 to now below $25. And, we'll talk about what we do for next year. But that was our mission this year, is to really reduce that acquisition cost so we can have profitability in the very near future.
Yeah, so you're trying to chasing the path of profitability, which is highly recommendable here. It's intriguing that your stock price is starting to rebound this year pretty nicely as well. Would you mind talking about those milestone expectations, like just for the latter half of this year? What you've kind of abbreviated to it, but what are you most focused on? What should investors pay attention to? Is it just the profitability side? What else is going on with Secure?
Well, the big picture of it is, you're going to have to look at what's happening in the world. So in the US, you have an election next year. Cybersecurity is always in the forefront, every day on people's mind. You also have these global conflicts. And if you notice in the Israeli-Gaza conflict, the first thing they did was shut down cell towers. Saudi Aramco a few years ago was hacked. It was said Iran hacked the Saudi Aramco, the largest old company in the globe. I think it's the most valuable company in the globe too. So you're going to have a repeat of that. So you want to be in an industry, cybersecurity is one thing, and then also data privacy, because people are being hacked on a daily basis. You have something called BEC, which is business email compromise. That's a huge thing. It's basically when two people communicate via email, and then you want to wire money to someone, that email gets changed, and then the wire goes to, in a nutshell, to the hackers. FBI got 21,000 complaints, I think, or 22,000 in 2021. Those are just the ones that we know of. So what we want to do until the end of the year, we're launching our enterprise rollout, and that will kind of complete by far our R&D phase. And because we're all almost at the end of the year, we're signing a few partnerships now. I just finished a 10-day roadshow in Florida, and being in the US is very eye-opening because everybody gets what you do. There were investors, there were partners. I did 7 cities in 4 days. And we have some partnerships lined up. We're going to target next year in 2024 a few partners and enterprises, mostly in the US, and some in the Middle East, which we are announcing as well. So this year is kind of the end of the grinding down the acquisition cost to a level that's acceptable. A typical customer gives us about $150 to $200 now, actually, per year. A business gets us $2,000-3,000 because they have more users. And if it costs you $20 to acquire a client on digital media, that's a big thing. So we're lowering our cost. We're also slashing our budget next year by more than 50% in order to achieve that profitability, we hope, at the end of next year. And we're launching essentially a lot of enterprise tool. We have about 4,500 users. It goes between 42 to 47. It hovers around there. Our goal is to get to over 10,000 users. We become profitable at about 8,000-9,000 users.
Well, on that note, I definitely appreciate all these insights today, and I'll pass that question off to the viewers. We'd love to know what you think in that comment section below, and consider subscribing because this is news catalyst, and more come into play as we continue to unveil the story to you. Obviously, we're going to bring it to you here, but on that note, we look forward to catching you in the next one.